Imagine waking up from a 9-hour spine surgery. Your back is on fire, your head is in a fog, and you can barely wiggle your toes. You reach for your phone, expecting a "get well soon" text. Instead, you find 73 missed calls and a voicemail from your father. "Mila, don't be mad," he says. "But we sold your condo to pay for your sister's wedding. You were unconscious, so we just signed for you." They thought I was a helpless victim. They didn't realize I was about to become their worst nightmare. If you've ever been treated like a doormat by the people who were supposed to protect you, today's story is for you. This isn't just about money. It's about the moment a daughter decides she's done being a sacrifice. Hit that like button and subscribe, because this is the most satisfying legal takedown you'll hear all year. The cold awakening. The recovery room was dim, smelling of industrial antiseptic and old flowers. Every breath felt like a serrated blade sliding between my vertebrae. I'm Mila. I'm 30. And until that morning, I believed my family was my bedrock. I remember the fog of the anesthesia lifting. It's a heavy, underwater feeling. My hand felt like lead as I reached for my phone. The screen was a strobe light, gone in a heartbeat. The condo itself? A $425,000 asset I had spent 10 years of overtime, missed holidays, and grind culture stress to earn. It was my fortress. And they had handed the keys to a stranger while I was literally under the knife. The pattern of the scapegoat. As I lay there, unable to even sit up to vomit, the memories started to bitter my tongue. This wasn't the first time. When Chloe wanted a car at 16, my college fund became her down payment. When Chloe wanted a European summer, my graduation gift was cancelled to fund it. My parents always had a script. Mila is the strong one. Mila is the responsible one. Mila doesn't mind. I looked at my hands, trembling under the 4 lines. I had reached my limit. The surgery wasn't optional. I had been losing sensation in my legs for months. My mother had cried when I signed the surgical consent forms. My father had squeezed my hand and whispered, "Focus on getting better, we've got everything handled." Yeah. They handled it, all right. They handled my erasure. The confrontation. I called my father back 2 hours later, after a nurse helped me sip water through a straw. He picked up on the first ring, his voice cheerful. "Mila, you're awake. Listen, Chloe is so happy. The florist was going to drop us, but your money cleared just in time. It's going to be the wedding of the century." "Dad," I whispered, my voice raspy. "You forged my signature." The silence on the other end was deafening. Then came the shift. The cheerful dad mask dropped, and the manipulative patriarch took over. "Don't use words like that, Mila. It's a family matter. You were incapacitated, and the deal was on the table. We did what was best for the family. Don't be selfish." I had been preparing for their betrayal for years. Not specifically this betrayal, but I knew who they were. 3 years ago, I bought a small, 2-bedroom bungalow 2 towns over. I did it through an LLC. I never told them. I told them I was investing in stocks. It was my escape pod. As I sat in that hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, I realized I didn't need their approval anymore. They thought they had stripped me naked. They thought I'd be forced to move into their guest room and be their servant out of gratitude. I called a lawyer before I even called for a nurse. The legal storm. My lawyer, a shark named Marcus, didn't mince words. "Mila, this is felony-level fraud and grand larceny. If you move forward, there's no going back. They could go to prison." "Do it," I said. While Chloe was posting Instagram stories about champagne brunches and silk bridesmaids' robes, Marcus was filing an emergency injunction. Because I was medically incapacitated and under heavy sedation. "What did you do?" I stood there, leaning heavily on my walker, but I stood tall. "I didn't do anything, Dad. The law did. You spent money that wasn't yours, and now the bank wants it back. Your sister is devastated. She's crying in her room. People are flying in from across the country. You're ruining her life. No, I said, my voice as cold as the surgical steel they'd put in my back. You ruined it when you decided my life was worth less than a party. The condo sale is being reversed. The buyers are suing you for the return of their deposit. And the police have a copy of that voicemail you left me. He looked at me like I was a stranger. For the first time in my life, the power dynamic shifted. He realized I wasn't the strong one who would carry their burdens anymore. I was the person who was holding the bill. The wedding was a disaster. The luxury venue downgraded them to a basic hall because the upgrades weren't paid for. Half the vendors walked out. The wedding of the century looked like a high school prom in a gym. I didn't go. I sat on my porch, took my physical therapy exercises, and watched the sunset over a yard that was 100% mine. It took 6 months to get the condo back in my name. My parents are currently on a payment plan to the bank that will take them 20 years to finish. We don't speak. Sometimes, people ask if I regret tearing the family apart. I tell them the same thing. You can't tear apart something that was already broken. I didn't lose a family. I gained my freedom. If you think Mila did the right thing by standing her ground, drop a justice in the comments below.